Come on. Oh, baby, my bets are all. EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown L.A. at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and our home team. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Ready. 10 logo. Here we go. Blue draw Corkins. Check. 36. Hey, alert 3. Go out. Check 4.
Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch safety creeping. Smooth. Look at me. Zipper. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. It'll go as a loss of a yard. And it'll So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And some room to work. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them,
and he lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So the defense there
nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, seam 6. Ready?
From the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Hey. 41 Mike. Hey, Charlie. Such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Let's take it inside his own 40. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Watson, complete. It's Johnson.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Set. 19. Mike 49. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the time, kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Bang, 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 bang. Swing. Yeah.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. What a great surprise Austin Eckler has turned out to be. That's the kid that was undrafted out of Western State, signed with the Chargers in 2017, and then last season, 554 yards at 5.2 yards per carry, and then he was also effective catching the football. 39 receptions, over 400 yards there. A great compliment to Melvin Gordon.
41 to Mike. Check 41. Let him know. Go, now.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. Open here, Adam Thielen. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, Delta.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Chargers, nothing.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, high 7. 41's coming. 41's a Mike. Exit. Mike 41. Let's go, defense. Our time. Deep grip.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. And this is Gabriel on the catch. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
The Chargers, first down and 10 yards to go.
A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
You got tight right there. Topper. I got it. Hey, wahoo. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. I'm on. Protein spill.
This is Freeman. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. His second touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Pretty quiet down and coming.
Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go. Here we go. Pretty quiet down and coming.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And it's 3rd down.
What's that? 19. Mike, 49. Can't do these traps. Let's go.
To throw is Watson on 3rd down. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's get it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Kill. Say, get it.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Hey, Zoo. Even. 4th down. Even. 41 Mike. Right here. 41 Mike. Let's go. Hey. 41. We've got to wedge that, huh? Check.
From the gun, Herbert, open man, it's Allen. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Back to throw. Herbert. This is caught by Antonio Brown. The end result, 21 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, Haywood. Now. Ready?
Throwing on first down. Herbert. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 41. Look at me, zipper. Watch the screen. Hey, 41's Mike.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw again. Herbert. Got a man. It's Brown. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Hey, orbit. 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Stop your whining.
Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, eat. Check the outs. Check the outs. 55. Go. 55. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Smooth. 5.
From the gun, Herbert. And Brown's got it for a Charger touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we've got a tie game first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Now it's Watson. He finds an opening past the 40. He's got Fuller. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now Watson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to the air. Watson on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. The final shot before the break. Watson, he gets it to Cooks. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Johnson again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Set. 19. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Alert. Go, go. 49 to Mike. I got him. 49 to Mike. Watch 49. Tackles. Pass.
Watson now to throw on third down. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
To throw again on second down. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Third and long, it's Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Melvin Ingram providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
At the 24-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that. Operating from the gun. Herbert, Allen's got it, complete. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Here we go.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Pull it high. Slam. Back. Yo,
they run from the pistol here with Freeman. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, seam 6. Show it up. He's checking. 80 weapon. Crash. Hey, Charlie. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. Coming.
Off the play fake. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Quickstone, travel. Check. Crunch. Spud. 41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike. Hey. Switch up. Get it.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
A gain of 2 brings up second and 8 at the 18-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Rolling to his left. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air down with Watson. Screen play, Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's caught left side by Cooks. That one goes for 24 yards.
24-yard gain on the play. And the Texans first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. He's given him a little but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want...
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Hey, Delta. Go. Hey, high 7.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Chargers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be third and a mile.
Switch. Hey, wahoo! Ready?
From the gun, Herbert. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. J.J. Watt able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. He'll take this inside the 40. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. So they boost their advantage here in the fourth quarter. And don't get me wrong, you take the points. I guess the only downside is didn't really get to milk any of the clock here in this last quarter.
But they'll take the points because, as you and I both know, here in the fourth quarter, things intensify. And while they may not have taken firm command of the game, it does give them a little bit of a cushion.
The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, and now it's second down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Got it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Go.
Mike's 56.
Throwing again. Herbert. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Hey, Haywood.
On first down, Herbert flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
They're running it. Watch out. 61, matchbox lights. Snap.
To throw again, Herbert. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Brown. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Back to throw. Herbert. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Check 26.
Chopper! 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. I got you. I got you. Bravo.
Throwing again. Herbert. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the...
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Following the fumble recovery, Herbert eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far. Big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
That happens more often than you might think. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Off play action. Herbert. Now a desperation throw. Deep depth. And this is caught. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys are back within a single score. They do tack on the extra point as well, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Here's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Mike 9. Hey, we don't get to that. Mike over there. Hey, watch the slant. 26.
Watson going deep here for Stills. He's got it at the 15. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So for the Texans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Championships, all my records go hard, it's a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. They get with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Change, I'm about to make a play.